switch up so you can...
Yes. Have a recipe from Pizza Curry. Would you buy a new iPad for $2? A 60-inch plasma TV for $50?
Maybe if you didn't have your mouth full.
Or a luxury car for $1,000? This is the kind of dirt cheap bargain being offered by penny auction sites.
This full-furnished apartment, worth more than $540,000, comes with all the bills paid for 12 months. We expect it to go for between $500 and $5,000. What a bargain.
This is Murray Timms, and he's the CEO of ResiBids, and his site will soon become the first place Australians can chance their arm in a penny auction in the hope of getting themselves an apartment worth over $500,000 for not much. Sounds great, but what is a penny auction? To help explain, I'm going to insert my friend / colleague Toby into a beautifully produced graphic to explain how they work. Let's say Toby and a few hundred other people wanted tickets to my stand-up show at the Comedy Festival this Saturday night. They can purchase a bid which will cost them $1 in the real world and raise the overall cost of the tickets on the site by 1 cent. The bidders are up against a countdown clock. But unlike, say, eBay, there is no fixed end, as each new bid adds time to the countdown. When people stop bidding, the clock eventually runs to 0 and the last lucky bidder wins. In this case, Toby was the final bidder, with the final price being $2.39. Being the winner, if Toby made 5 bids in the auction process, he's up for $5 plus the final amount of the tickets, so a total of $7.39. So he will now enjoy one of the greatest nights of comedy in his life. Enjoy the show, Toby.
Thanks, Pete. Mr. Helliot.
And have a shave. Given the final price was $2.39, that means there were 239 bids placed. And at $1 a bid, bidders paid a combined $239 to the penny auction site for a ticket worth about $40. So if ResiBids manages to sell a $500,000 apartment and apply the same principles, they stand to make a bit of money.
Everybody other than ResiBids, and I'll go so far to say everybody else in the world, is selling small ticket items. On ResiBids, our stock items, well, they're worth $500,000.
ResiBids might have the big ticket item, but they're not the only players in Australia. Over the last year, 1 Cent Flights claim they have delivered over $1 million worth of flights.
Just this week, we had someone flying to Bali for $2.28, a new user, which is always fun to see.
Jessica Moulton gave 1 Cent Flights a go last year after a mate recommended it.
My first auction, I paid just over $4 for it, and I got a flight to Hamburg with it.
Jess Porter also used 1 Cent Flights, but without success.
All up, I spent $250, I think, and I didn't win anything at all. I just got a lot of disappointment.
These sites are really like a scratchy. Your chance of winning is pretty low. You could spend a lot of money and win nothing in the end.
Choice launched an investigation into penny auctions after receiving dozens of complaints from its members.
The 1 Cent auction site essentially makes most of their money from the bids that people are placing on that auction. So it's not about the final auction price at all. There's only so many bids you can win, and then at the end of the day, you're left buying more if you want to keep participating.
Choice also says penny auctions are an unfair playing field, with punters losing money because of slow internet connections and dropouts.
That's the element of chance that means that these penny auction sites are more akin to gambling than to something like an eBay auction.
Despite the Australian Communications and Media Authority finding the sites don't qualify as gambling, experts say the tactics are similar.
One of the concerns we have about these sites is that when people bid and lose, they're more likely to continue to engage in the auction in order to chase their losses.
But Murray says ResiBids will cap the amount of bidders at 6,000 and will also limit the number of bids they can buy. So is there a catch to this whole penny auction idea?
Is there a catch? Not really. It's not a lottery. It's not a lucky dip. It is a game